A dziś w ramach programu Wszędzie lepiej, tylko nie w Bostonie, przyjechałem do miasteczka o nazwie South End.
Thomas, what? Zmywak! You come to my hometown and I find you without telling me? Get out of it, mate. Hello, mate. Welcome to South End. Come have a look. Come on. Hello guys, welcome back. Me, Scotty, with an E. I'm back. You're in my hometown of South End. So, I'm going to give you some little history lessons, right? Come and have a look at this. So that place down there, that used to be called Peter Pan's Playground. But guess what? Disney decided to take him to court and change the name. So they changed it to Adventure Island. And I'm telling you now, we've had some adventures in there. A little chat with you for a minute.
Sorry,
No English.
Sorry.
No English.
Where are you from?
Polish.
From?
Polish.
Polish channel.
Zmywak. Very good.
So how's it going, guys? My name's Scott. We're quite a large YouTube channel. Actually a Polish one as well.
Okay.
So, I like your Millwall shirt. So what's your name?
James.
James?
You're not going to believe it, James as well.
Oh, we've got the two Jameses.
There we go.
Right, so are you from Southend?
No, from Basildon.
You're from Basildon?
Rayleigh.
Rayleigh. I'm from Southend.
Nice.
But I moved out of here 12 years ago. Moved up north. So I thought I'd come down and see what's going on. So what's happened in the last... You've been here all your life?
Yep.
So you've seen the change?
Yep.
What is the change? Do you notice anything?
I mean, probably not because we live here. So, yeah, less so, I'd say.
Yeah.
But you probably notice more having come back.
Right, so I'm also down here asking about the Supreme Court's ruling about there's only two genders.
Yep.
What do you think of that?
It's a real matter of opinion, isn't it? That's the thing. So this is such a tough one to answer.
Why is it tough to answer?
Because there are so many there are so many varieties now of people that choose to be something different,
Right.
outside of the norm.
Yep,
And I think as a society we've come to accept that.
yep.
Yeah, I'll take people for what they are.
That's right. But what about you, James?
I don't really have an opinion.
No?
No,
You're just going to sit there and stand there and be quiet, aren't you?
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm fine. What about you?
So,
What about you?
I'm pretty much the same as you, but I think there's a certain lot that have ruined it for... I've got some very good friends that are gay, and they're really angry with the trans community because it's taken my mate and all his friends many, many years to get to where they are, only to be shot down by the trans activists, which I don't find very fair. And once again, I believe a woman should be able to have a safe space as a woman, i.e. toilets. I don't think men should be competing in women's sports. I think that's massively unfair. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that they're always going to be kept separate. I think with sport it's a little bit different physically.
Yeah.
I think that the women's game has come a long way since the investment's gone into it, and I think it's shown the capabilities of what they can do. I think having watched a lot of women's football now myself, I think the standard is through the roof.
Yep.
But I think physically it's just never going to compete, and I think that's probably why you can't cross-reference it.
Right.
So yeah, I'm probably a little bit more on board with the fact that maybe it shouldn't swap. But I think that we play together at work and at social activities with women, and look, some of them are better than us. So
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I ask you some political questions?
Sure.
Right. So I'm asking people about the Supreme Court ruling about there's only two genders now, man and woman.
Oh, yeah.
What's your views on that?
Trying to think how to word it. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what you do. I'm someone who, when I'm not dressed like this, people think I'm a man anyway. Because people always go, oh, but they can
I guess so.
always...
There's the.
I'm a bit more obvious.
But then again, I'm not, you're not allowed to assume nowadays, are you?
I get that anyway. At work, I get because when I don't have makeup on, I have a very androgynous face.
Right.
So I get a lot of people. I've been called sir, bro, man. I've straight up just been called a man.
So is this a statement of intent?
No, I normally switch from really feminine and goth like this
Yeah.
to straight up really masculine because I just like fucking with people. Because
Okay.
like you said, you can't assume. So everyone just sort of looks at me and they're like,
Okay, so what's your views on this safe space stuff?
I don't really care.
Yeah?
It's like the whole thing with the bathroom situation. You go in there, piss and leave. Why does it matter? If someone wants to do something nefarious, they ain't gonna give a shit whether they got a skirt or not. They're following you in that toilet.
Okay, but what about when you talk about when you finally have children? You may have children one day. How would you feel walking into a ladies' toilet
Yep.
and a 6-foot beef head being there with a skirt on?
I wouldn't really care. Go and piss and leave.
Really?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be bothered for your children?
Well, I mean, I'd sort of bring them up to like, you know, not be. I don't know how to word it because it's
No,
the
I know
way-
what
yeah,
you're
it's the way
saying. You know,
was brought up.
I believe everyone should just be who you want to be.
Yeah.
But there's agendas pushing a narrative, which I think is a little bit too much.
And I think the opposite's also pushing a narrative.
Go on.
I'm really bad at explaining things.
Okay.
It's like it's just I think the whole argument as a whole is just stupid. I think certain people,
Is it because it's being pushed in our faces though?
yeah, by both sides.
Yeah.
Same thing with religion. I don't care what the fuck you do. Why are you putting in my face? I just want
Yeah,
to live
I
life.
agree with you on that. I agree with you.
But I've seen all sorts of like TikTok of just people just arguing over just the stupidest shit.
So do you think it's just another, you know, what, a couple of years ago we had the Black Lives Matter.
Literally.
Then we've had this. They just seem to be, they go along with a narrative. When they get bored of that, they'll move to the next one. Then it's Palestine, then it's safe spaces, and it just keeps on and on and on,
Just fade off.
making the divide bigger and bigger every time.
Humans are very, no matter what you do, I've always grown up with, no matter what you look like, what you do, someone's always going to hate you. Because
Yeah.
humans are very good at that. It doesn't matter what you do, someone's always going to have a problem with it. And I reckon it will fade off, it will fizzle away, people won't care, government will do whatever they do, and then something new will happen. It will just fade away. No one will care. You don't hear
do you
about
think the
Black Lives
mainstream
Matter
media
anymore.
are to blame for the divide that's being caused?
Probably. Because
Yeah?
whenever it comes to anything, the way the media words stuff, they sort of make it worse.
Hello, well, so my name's Scott.
Nice to meet you, I'm Joseph.
Joseph. Are you from Southend, Joseph?
No, I'm from London, Enfield.
Everyone-
Far
ev-
away.
you know what? We've come down here. I'm from Southend, but I moved out 12 years ago. I moved
Yeah.
up north. So I thought we'd come down here and talk to some Southend people.
You won't find them.
Everyone's from London.
Yeah, because they want to escape London and get to the seaside and enjoy the last bit of beautiful view left.
Yeah. All right. So, you don't know the difference, the change in Southend over the last 12 years.
Absolutely,
Oh, you
because
do?
I used to come here when I was a kid. Yeah, I used to go to Wharton on the Naze, Clapton, and all of that. It's upgraded a lot. It used to be a lot shoddier.
Yeah.
The seafront used to look derelict.
Yeah.
Not many people. I don't know what's happened in the last few years. It's just tourism's kind of grown.
Yeah. All right. So we're asking some political questions.
Go ahead.
Right. So the big topic of the week is the Supreme Court ruling about women are women and there's only two genders.
Yeah. I don't have an opinion on that because I work in hospitality, so I've got to be very careful with what I say on the internet.
Oh, right. Fair enough. Okay.
Media trained, unfortunately.
All right. And so what about Labour and what the government have done in the last 9 months? What do you think of that? You've got an opinion. You're allowed to have an opinion on that.
So realistically, I just think it's all a load of nonsense. I don't have a party that I support. I don't believe in it. I just don't see anyone that goes for the core values of what I'm supportive, which is helping younger people, being able to get out of poverty and actually move on with their life, having a career ladder and all that lot.
Okay. So you're in hospitality. So have you noticed the change in clientele when a lot of hotels are giving their hotels to immigrants?
Or asylum seekers. Not in my area because we don't have hotels in our area that do that. But for us, realistically, it's all old people. Because I
Yeah.
live right in the town centre, so all we get is old people with, again, their own political agendas.
Yeah.
So hear it all day, every day.
So do you think the UK's ruined, or it's on its way to being ruined?
I think
or
it was
is all-
ruined years ago. I think the selfish greed from politicians from go hundreds of years back's ruined it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. All right then, Joseph.
Nice to meet you. Yeah,
And you,
Joseph.
mate. Take care, mate.
Thank
Have a
you.
lovely weekend. Thanks very much. I'll ask you one question and I'll leave you alone. So we're down here today. I'm asking people about the Supreme Court ruling about there's only two sexes. What's your thoughts on that?
I ain't got no thoughts on that.
No?
No.
No
I
opinion?
keep my opinions very close to my chest.
What about yourself?
That sort
I'm
of
not
stuff.
really sure what we're talking about.
Well, basically, you're now safe to go in a ladies' toilet,
Right.
and a fake woman is not allowed to go in there anymore.
I don't really have an opinion of that. Like I feel like people should do what other people should want to do. Like you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So you're happy with a a 6 foot trans man going into your space?
I think it would depend completely on the situation. And
I just said a we.
it's you know, but I don't mind who weaves around me. We all got parts, don't we?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I think I'll let you go. Thanks for your brief chat, all right? See you later.
Być może w Anglii nie ma paliwa. Być może w Anglii nie ma rąk do pracy, ale dzięki serwisowi VPN Surfshark w Anglii na pewno nie ma problemu z dostępem do internetu z całego świata. Korzystając z Surfshark, nawet jeśli podróżujesz po różnych częściach globu, to swoją ulubioną argentyńską operę mydlaną możesz oglądać z dowolnego zakątka naszej planety. Losy Pedro, Gianluki i ich dziecka Bambino możesz śledzić nawet w krajach, które krzywo patrzą na człowieka z laptopem na kolanach i komórką w kieszeni.
Con uñas y dientes, no como vos, que a la primera de cambio lo de...
Dzięki opcji szyfrowania danych, korzystanie z publicznych sieci Wi-Fi stało się o wiele bezpieczniejsze. Dodatkowo, mając włączony Surfshark, ogłupiasz aplikacje, które śledzą twoją lokalizację geograficzną. Dzięki temu możesz zapłacić telefonem na stacji benzynowej za paliwo i nikt się o tym nie dowie. A będąc na wczasach w słonecznej Korei i przyjaznej Australii, możesz dowolnie korzystać ze światowych mediów społecznościowych, a nawet pisać posty pokroju wolny jak ptak, czy mogę wszystko. Zarejestruj się w serwisie Surfshark już dziś, korzystając z linku w opisie, aby otrzymać 4 miesiące dodatkowej usługi kompletnie za darmo. Po więcej szczegółów zapraszam do linku w opisie.
Right then, so behind me we have got Southend's biggest hotel that contains hundreds of engineers and doctors and all them boat people, you know, the ones that come on a boat. And then people just walk in front of you, they don't care, they don't want to talk to you, they just walk across in front of you and drive you mental. How do you feel, and what do you think of the government, Starmer and the Labour government, what they've done in the last 9 months? How do you think that's gone?
I mean, I'm not one to keep up with politics because otherwise I'm probably just going to get depressed.
Yes.
But anything I've seen, I've sort of just read it and gone, really? And then sort of just moved on from it. Because as selfish as it is, with certain things, I'm very until it affects me, I'm just going to carry on living my life because you only get it once. I'm not going to spend it getting worried and depressed and all this over what's happening when it doesn't have a knock-on effect to me.
You live your life to the best you can, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, if it starts affecting people I know personally, then maybe I'll be like a little bit more confident. But at the end of the day, I'm one person. No matter what I say or do, it ain't changing shit.
I've also read on X the other day about there was some refugees that had moved into Southend in the hotels, I believe, behind us, and they're now demanding houses. What do you feel about that?
It's been going on for a long while, hasn't it? And that's
It
the
has.
thing. I think sometimes when we're struggling to house some of our own, then there's got to be a little bit of a cap as to how many we let in. But I think if we can help in refuge, we should. But I think there just has to be a bit more of a cap on it.
Yeah.
Because we're struggling outside ourselves.
So also, I'm ex-army, so and I've seen some of my brothers and sisters on the streets and getting preferential treatment, which makes me very bitter. But I do understand, and I agree, we do need refugees. You know, we've got to take our fair share. But I think it's just getting a little bit too much at the minute.
I think we've got to get to a stage where we put our country first.
Yeah.
I don't think we do that enough.
Yeah.
We often look to help, which I think is quite a staple of being British.
Yep.
Even as people, we often look to help people. But yeah, sometimes there's got to be a cap on how much.
So you reckon, is the UK doomed? Is it going to be doomed? Is it on its way out? What do you reckon on that? Give me a final thought.
Well, we probably need a little bit stronger leadership, I'd say. But I wouldn't say that we're doomed. I think as a country, we maybe just need to come together a little bit more and well, get back a little bit to how we were.
Excuse me, have you got a minute?
Sorry?
Have you got a minute?
No, sorry.
Sure?
Yeah.
I'll be very nice.
No.
Right. Yeah. So what's your views on the current Supreme Court ruling about a woman is a woman?
No comment.
Is that what we're going to do?
Take
You're just going to go no comment? I'm disappointed, fellas. Yeah. So I'm asking people about what their views are on the Supreme Court ruling about a woman is a woman, a man is a man, there's only two genders. What do you think of that?
Honestly, I'm not a very political person, but I would have to say that you are born a woman and you are born a man.
Yeah.
And I do kind of agree with it.
Yeah.
I feel like people can identify as they want to identify, and
Yes.
that shouldn't be taken away from them.
Yep.
But you are born as a man, you are born a woman. If you want to identify as something else, you should have the ability to do that.
Yeah, I
Does that
totally
make
agree.
sense?
But what about when it comes to safe spaces?
I think it should be shared by everyone, to be honest. I think we are all people at the end of the day. You're a person, he's a person, the cameraman's also a person, and at the end of the day, we all have goals in life, we all have
All right,
dreams.
but what about
aspirations.
I've now got grandchildren, right?
Yeah.
Even, just go back to my children then. So
I don't think when it comes to toilets and stuff like
That's
that.
what I mean.
Yeah, I don't think they should necessarily be shared, because obviously a man watching a girl go to the toilet, like you wouldn't feel comfortable with that happening to your daughter or your granddaughter. Exactly. I think when it comes to that, it should be kept separate. I don't think their rights should be taken away from them, but I think they should be considered, if that makes sense. They should still be put into consideration, but also the people that do abide by those genders should also be taken into consideration. Because in my opinion, people who change genders, we thought a lot about them as well, but we can't forget about people who haven't and how they're mixing people.
How old are you, mate?
I'm 16.
You're 16?
Yeah.
You've got quite an head on you, haven't you, mate?
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this. So what do you think of trans men in women's sport?
I think it's nice that it's inclusive, but maybe they should have a different category where it's all trans people playing each other.
Yeah,
just
I
because
totally agree.
I believe that when it comes to competition, men are definitely stronger than women,
Of course.
and that's how it is biologically. Science, you can't change it; it's a fact, and it brings unfairness, and it definitely hurts a lot of people's dreams and hopes because they've worked really hard on something, and to have that taken away because of a disadvantage is just unfairness.
Yeah. It's like, I know that in America, a lot of these track and field records have now been taken, or women's track and field records have now been taken by trans men, which I think is massively unfair.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, these people work really hard.
Yeah.
It's their careers. They've been working for years and years, and to have that taken away from you by just a disadvantage, I think it is unfair. And I think even with the boxing we saw, where the woman quit because she was fighting a transgender boy, turned into the female category, I think you could see with her reaction just how annoyed she actually really was.
Yeah, very unfair. Like I said, they've worked years for this, and then they get thrown away by a man literally coming in and ruining it all. So I'm also asking, might be a bit controversial this one, about the Supreme Court ruling about there's only two genders.
Yeah.
What's your views on that?
You are what you are at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So, whether you're single, married, gay, lesbian, bi, whatever you are, you are.
Yeah. So do you think, how do you think it's going to impact the people? Is it fair? I mean, is it?
It's your human rights, isn't it?
Go on. What's your human rights?
Your human rights is to be who you want to be.
Right.
No matter if you're male, female, if you're transgender.
Yeah.
You know, there shouldn't be a label on it.
Right. I totally agree with you there. However, I do believe in women should have their safe spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So should men as well.
Exactly.
It's not just women; it's men as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they should just be who they want to be. If they, like, obviously they've got a male toilet, female toilet. Why not have a transgender toilet?
I totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah.
You know,
it makes
so-
it makes life a lot easier now. I
Yeah.
mean, like I say, because there's too much labelling, which
That's
is
it.
I don't like it. I mean, we're all human.
Yeah.
We're all doing what we're doing. I'm one of these people that I don't care about anything or what people do, as long as they don't bring it to my doorstep.
Yeah, that's
You know,
it.
if you bring it to my doorstep, then it's going to be a problem that I've not created.
Exactly that, yeah.
Yeah. So what about the women in men's sports, or men in women's sports?
I think it should be mixed. I think, you know, it shouldn't be just a
Do you
male
know?
sport
Yeah, see, I don't.
or female sport.
Yeah, but what, competing together? Because, I mean, you know, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but men are more powerful than
It don't
women.
mean nothing though, does it?
It does when you're talking about elite sportsmen, sportspersons.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Imagine say you got the transgender woman on the darts.
Yeah?
Getting slated for playing with the men, with the women. Some of our women I used to play with.
Yeah, see, that again, no disrespect, that doesn't really bring me any concern, because it's not anyone can throw a dart.
Yeah, well, that's, yeah.
So to me, that's fair enough. You could have mixed, not a problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
But when you're talking football, or even I saw a rugby clip of a man playing in a women's rugby team, and he knocked this woman spark out just with a tackle.
Yeah.
And I just think that's highly wrong.
Yeah, so maybe some sports should be single-outed, but say 50-50, innit?
Yeah. So you're not a Starmer fan?
I'm not a massive politics expert.
Same here.
I'll be completely honest. It's more the seeing the price of everything go through the roof, but wages and salaries not going up. I think minimum wage has obviously gone up, but that's another bump where if minimum wage goes up, why can't everyone else's wage? It's just because I'm not on that doesn't mean that it shouldn't be. So yeah, look, I think we often criticise and moan, but then you still see a lot of families coming down to Southend and going to Adventure Island on the ride. So people can't be that hard off.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, I think we're a country that loves to whinge and moan. That's another thing that we're very good at, myself included.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, better leadership, more people pushing in the right direction. We've got so many different parties now that are coming together to.
I mean, do you think Farage is the right person, or the Reform Party, for where we need to get?
No, I don't think all of his ideas are wrong. I'll be completely honest. And I think I get the standpoint as a proper Brit of what he's trying to achieve. But then I do think some of the stuff that he says is really nonsensical, and I think turns people's nose up in the current climate of the world.
Yep.
People's noses are going to get turned up by some of the things that he says, but that doesn't mean to say that everything he's saying is wrong. I think if he pushed in the same direction on some points as other people, then who knows where we could get to.
All right, nice one. Thanks for your input, James.
You're
a superstar.
He knows he was getting the answers from me. I thought,
Look at there and give us a Millwall. Millwall! Cheers, fellas. Have a nice day. What's your views on the current government and what they've been up to?
I wouldn't say I don't like. I just think the inactivity, the promises they've made, there hasn't been an impact. They promised to lower rent. They promised to lower house prices. They said they'll do a lot of things for the people. Work on the school systems. Nothing's really been worked on actually. Things that are still going up inflation-wise. They're trying to get back into the EU, which has been heard, and we exited the EU, and that was the whole point. It was Brexit, and in my opinion, I don't think it should have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Some people agree. I just don't think it should have happened. And now, let's be honest. When we was in the EU, we had certain rights and we had certain systems in place where we was given things for our benefit. And I think if we even go back to the EU, we won't get those benefits again.
All right. So do you think it's going to get worse before it gets better?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah? I personally just think Keir Starmer at the moment is moving a bit slow when it comes to things. His whole process thing, he's been promising things for months, and the changes we've seen hasn't actually qualified to what he said.
Yeah. All right, nice one.
Thank you.
Enjoy your weekend, mate.
You
Have
too.
a lovely day. Thanks for that. Cheers. Thank you. What's your name? For a start, what's your name?
Josh.
Josh? Harry?
Rich.
Rich. Family, yeah?
Yeah.
You're from Southend?
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm from Benfleet down the road.
Yeah, that's
right.
right.
We were born in Southend.
Okay, so I moved out of Southend 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Moved up to Boston for my sins. And so
Someone's
we've come down today to find out what's people's general view on what's happening in Southend in the last 12 years.
Best, I'll tell you what, ask them.
Yeah?
I reckon ask them.
So as a young adult,
Yeah.
what do you reckon? How's it gone?
It's getting kind of worse.
It's getting worse. In what way?
Like crime and stuff.
Crime?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a few people tell me there's a lot of gangs down here at the minute.
Yeah, there
which
is.
I didn't see that 12 years ago. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're afraid to go out, really.
Yeah.
They don't want to. You don't want to go out in the streets, do you, really? There's nowhere for them to go anyway. But
well, that's one of the reasons why I moved. Because I had a house just off the seafront.
Yeah.
And there was, outside my front door, there was some bloke got stabbed 13 times at 4 o'clock in the morning, drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, who's got money on them at 4 o'clock in the morning drunk?
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
so that was pointless. And it just got to the stage where my kids were young then.
Yeah.
And yes, we took the opportunity to move out.
Yeah.
So, but again, I'm asking also about political views as well. And like the big one at the minute is the Supreme Court ruling about there's only 2 genders, man and a woman.
Go on. Views on that.
Go on.
I mean, I think there is only 2 really. I kind of get it, but To be honest, I don't really care about all that stuff, but just don't shove it in my face.
No, you've got the same view as me. That's exactly.
Like, you can do all your thing and everything, but if you just don't force it onto me, or like that sort of thing, like do your parades and something, but just leave it out of my life.
Yeah.
Like I don't care really what.
That's why I'm not. Don't make me a bigger because I don't agree with you.
No.
What about
absolutely.
you?
I'm like the same as him, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you seeing? So you're still at school?
Yeah.
Do you see the change in schools with all this narrative?
100%.
Yeah.
He's in his last year.
Well, I'm in year 11, and ever since I've moved into year 7, it's been slowly more forced into me. Like, they don't do, say like for our school, they do more focus on like LGBTQ days rather than like St George's Day we had recently. We had nothing for that.
Yeah.
But for LGBTQ month, whole month, everything is on that.
And they're bombarded with it.
And why don't they nick the rainbows? I like rainbows.
Like, there's no rainbow anymore. It's supposed to be rainbows like, oh, it's a nice thing, but now it's just like, oh, it's you see a rainbow, it's gay. Like,
that's right. Yeah, they've totally ruined the rainbow, haven't they? Really.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, I'm you know, I keep saying it myself. Is I don't care about people's race, colour, creed, nothing.
No.
But don't bring it to my door.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
You bring it to my door, then we've got a problem that I didn't want. Right, and also I've got some gay friends that have been fighting for their gay rights all their lives, and now it's all been thrown out the window because the trans lot have come in, the trans actives, and ruined it all for them, which I find very unfair.
Which is very unfair, you're right, I agree.
How do you think Starmer and the Labour Party have done in the last 9 months?
I don't allow myself to emotionally connect to anything happening outside of my family. So even though someone could say, yeah, but it affects prices and petrol and this and that, I think it's a pantomime.
Yeah.
And I think if you're emotionally connected to that pantomime, you're going to be emotionally tormented by that pantomime.
That's a good way of
so
putting it,
I
mate.
do not allow myself to emotionally connect and invest in anything happening outside of my hula hoop.
So do you think the UK is lost, or it's on its way to be lost, or is it all just media scaring?
Put it this way, I don't watch anything to do with the media, to do with the mainstream media, not to put them down, it's just not my cup of tea. And also, there could have been views on me being not accepted 50 years ago. So why would I care to invest in something now? The world's changing. I weren't necessarily accepted here in the 70s. Maybe I might have been more accepted than my dad because I'm lighter skinned than him. So anything that sort of is happening now, people say it's lost, it's this, it's that. I just think if you've got that mindset and you feel that I could look at this beach and I could say there's too much litter, or I could look at this beach and say, oh my God, look at all these beautiful people and this beautiful sunshine. It's a perspective thing.
Yeah.
So I don't allow myself to, look at the country in a negative light because that will affect me negatively.
Yeah, so that's what I say to people. Like, I don't care about colour, religion, creed, don't bother me until you bring it to my door and make it a problem.
Yeah.
So everyone get on, do your stuff, but just do your stuff. Don't involve me. I don't want to be, if I wanted to be involved, I'd be involved. And that's what annoys me.
I know what you mean, like, but I think, like, when they're saying to you, if someone says, all right, they might take away this Easter holiday, or we can't promote that, or or your kids, they're involving kids in things in school, like they're telling your kid that they're going to jab your kid with a vaccine and you don't even know nothing about it, and then you're like, I know what you're saying. I just feel like now, from some of the things that I've learned, I try to disconnect from it. Like, even with some of the people who are saying some stuff about the new Silvertown tunnel, and they're going to charge us to go through the Blackwall tunnel. I just think to myself, right, I have to make more money. I have to disconnect, and I have to think, well, I haven't gone broke in quite a while. So if they want their £8 for the congestion, or £15 for this or that, or whatever it is, pay it and get on with it. Because if I invest in it, I know how sensitive I am, and I know how it will affect me.
Yeah.
So I just try and disconnect from stuff like that.
So where are you off to now?
I'm just going to be plotting up here. I'm going to get my decks out, and I'm going to just play some music and see who wants to come and chat with me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Nice
We'll have a good one.
Lovely.
Good luck to you, mate.
Care,
You take care. All the best. So what do you reckon on Labour and what the government's playing up to? What's the last 8 months been like for yourself?
For me, I didn't vote Labour, and I have voted Labour in the past, but...
It's like my mum. My mum's been a Labour supporter all her life, but this last year she voted
And I could
Reform.
see what's going to happen, and exactly what has happened is happening.
Yeah.
And I knew it was going to go that way. But what change can you do as to who you're going to bring in?
Yeah. So yeah,
That is
it's like taking the lesser of two evils, isn't
There's
it?
not much choice, you know.
Yeah.
I did reform.
Yeah.
I voted reform because I want a big change, you know.
Want to change? Yeah, that's exactly
Massive,
what I did as well.
but a proper change as well.
Yeah.
Not just, oh, we're going to do this and then no, don't do that.
But is he going to be another Starmer? That's what. With all this stuff that's coming out now, it does worry me.
100%.
And I try and think. I just don't know
Yeah,
nowadays.
because we think, oh, he was going to do something, and he's just turned into a yes man.
Yep.
And literally died. But you could sit here and talk about that all day, couldn't you? About.
Yeah. So is the UK fallen? But so as young adults, what do you feel for your future?
I don't know. I keep seeing these loads of things on social media and everything saying like England ain't England anymore. It's going to be taken over. Like we're not. There's going to be barely any English anymore in the country. Like sort of like that sort of thing. Like your streets are going to be filled with like immigrants and all like other cultures instead of really like just promoting other cultures rather than our own culture.
Yeah.
In that sort of future, I'm a bit worried for it, to be honest, because I don't mind. I like other cultures being around, but just not like taking over our own home country.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So yeah, again, I'm all for multiculturalism. However, when my needs and traditions are being pushed to the back,
100%.
and like it's, and if you question it, you're then a bigot or you're racist or you're far right. And
yeah, like we can't even show our own flag in our own country anymore without being it's racist. Like, seen some clip of this geezer in London who was on St George's Day, was waving the flag around everywhere, and some people were shouting he's racist.
Yeah, I know.
It's our own flag,
just
our own capital.
Yeah, a flag, yeah.
Like, why?
But you can fly a Palestinian flag as much
exactly,
as you want and get away with it.
But we're spoon-fed more now than we ever were with media.
Yeah.
And we are shown what we're shown, and that's all it is, you know. It's like things like you were saying about the flag and all that.
Oh, yeah.
If we burn another country's flag
yes.
in London or anywhere, even in this street, right here now.
Oh, that'd be front page news everywhere.
Excuse my French, but
happened in Manchester a
that
couple
would be
of
all
months
over the
ago.
place. But, you know, if the other way round, bang.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and we're spoon-fed that. So, you know, you can go here, you could sit here and say, we were talking the other day about, you've got, and this is not being racist, you've got black awards, you've got LGBT days, you've got gay prides, whatever. Not being funny, but where's the white day?
Yeah, where's the white straight man's day?
Where's that? They've got like black award day. Where's the music like?
Yeah.
White music, and it's not being white. It's not that.
I know
Don't have all that.
You've also got Miss Asia, Miss Nigeria, Miss. There is no Miss White England.
Don't. Again, it's the media and it's everything
and
that
it
you
spins
see on
it,
these silly little things which I hate.
And it makes you angry.
And you go bang, 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 you know, and you see all that, and you think, hold on a minute, and he's right, you know. Where was the celebration?
Yeah.
If you ask anyone in this street, when's St George's Day? I bet 90 people wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even know what day it was.
We wouldn't even know it existed, to be honest.
They wouldn't even know.
Yeah, well, especially, I mean, you know when St Patrick's Day is?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That's everywhere.
Yeah, and you know why, and that's just...
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, then, guys. Well, thanks for this brief conversation. That was lovely.
That's cool, man.
Listen to your dad, right? That's all I say, yeah. All right, folks. Lovely. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day, all right? Thanks for stopping. Cheers, guys. Now that, my friend, is how you do a YouTube channel. Later.
Hej patroni, dziękuję za wasze nieustające wsparcie. W tym miesiącu na przykład dzięki dodatkowej kasie stać było mnie, aby udać się na południe Anglii i przeprowadzić tam serię barwnych wywiadów z lokalną ludnością. A przynajmniej taki miałem plan do momentu, aż zabrano mi mikrofon. A patronami, którzy ze swoich portfeli w tym miesiącu wyrzucili najwięcej złotówek, okazali się Tamworth Roofing, Roof Done Right Ltd, Jerry Cohen, Krzysztof Bryja, Nefretete Sklep Peterborough, iCode BMW, Mr. Bolec kanał na YouTube, Paweł Kozłowski, Bawaria24.pl oraz sklep Silesia Plants and Herbs SRO. A specjalnie i tylko dla was porada dnia. Jeśli zamierzasz pracować i żyć w Wielkiej Brytanii, ale nie wiesz, czy twój angielski jest na odpowiednim poziomie, to języka ucz się na przykład od cesarza.
You must thinking about...
Cesarz mówi językiem brytyjskich fabryk. Do następnego!